In an accelerating world, time is seen as the most valuable commodity, Dr. Matthew Walker points out in his book Why We Sleep, saying in its beginning, "If you are reading this book, you can make better use of your time by putting this book down and going to sleep." Matthew Walker stresses that sleep is very important to our well-being and our ability to work and be productive, and warns us that sleep deprivation can have both personal and societal consequences. Why We Sleep by Matthew Walker. The alarm clock, that annoying device that sounds in the early hours of the morning to wake you from your deep sleep and get you out of your warm bed. Most people have the same view of waking up in the morning, as they find it one of the most difficult moments in which a person challenges himself to revitalize his body parts, and prepares for the beginning of the day. On the other hand, we find another class of people, with a completely different perception in the morning hours, as we find them full of activity and vitality even before the alarm rings. It all depends on your internal clock, or the biological clock, that resides in your brain and sets your body's 24-hour rhythm. Your biological clock determines many of the activities you do in your day. Besides directing your body's desire for sleep, it also controls your appetite for food and drink, in addition to your mood and the metabolic rate of your body. The biological clock varies from one person to another, which is the reason why people are different in the morning. The same concept was introduced by Daniel Pink in his book When, which we summarized in a previous episode on Bookspit's channel. Daniel Pink classifies people into two types based on their biological clocks, the night owl type and the early bird. And since the night owl's type applies to a large segment of people, it's no wonder that most of us hesitate to get out of bed and go to work in the morning. Since most businesses and schools open in the morning, there is no doubt that the night owls are the type of people who suffer the most from sleep deprivation. But to remember, our biological clock dictates how we sleep and be active. It also controls our appetite and emotional state throughout the day. The writer Matthew Walker believed that a healthy diet had three main pillars: diet, exercise, and sleep. But after examining this healthy diet, he realized that sleep is the basis on which other healthy lifestyles depend. Studies have concluded that sleep deprivation increases a person's risk of cardiovascular disease by 45%. Another study in Japan found that employees who sleep 6 hours or less are 500% more likely to have a heart attack. When we wonder why sleep deprivation leads to more heart problems, Walker tells us that it is mainly about blood pressure. Whenever a person does not get enough sleep, the pressure in his blood vessels increases, to the extent that even depriving an hour or two of sleep may be enough to raise blood pressure levels. It is known that high blood pressure is responsible for many deaths each year, but what many people do not know is that we can avoid high blood pressure by sleeping more hours. But to remember, sleep deprivation is a major cause of high blood pressure and heart diseases. Many of us may not be aware of the repercussions and harms of sleep deprivation, and that it does not harm the person only but it also harms the society in general. Especially by putting people's lives at risk when they drive cars without getting enough sleep. All it takes is less than 7 hours of sleep to significantly increase your chances of having a car accident. One of the most important causes of car accidents is the so-called microsleep, that takes only a few seconds in which your body tries to compensate what it missed during the night. Although its period of time is very short, but microsleep has all the properties of normal sleep, as a person cannot control the movement of his body or his awareness of what's going on around him. Even if your car's speed is low, it only takes 2 seconds for your car to drift into the adjacent path and cause major accidents. Sleepiness is a side effect of sleep deprivation, which, along with microsleep, is one of the most important causes of car accidents in the world. An Australian study has shown that driving while you are sleepy is as dangerous as driving under the influence of alcohol. But to remember, Sleep deprivation may cause severe damage to the individual and society, and car accidents are one of the most important examples of this. At the end of the book, the writer Matthew Walker gives us some tips that will help us all get a deep and healthy 8 hours of sleep a day. First, there are some things you might want to avoid, like stimulants and nicotine. Smokers may feel comfortable while smoking at night, unaware that nicotine is a stimulant, which leads the smokers to sleep fewer hours than they would want, and they find themselves waking up before their time in the morning. In addition to avoiding stimulants, you can also add some habits that can enhance the quality of your sleep at night. For example, try taking a hot bath before going to bed. A hot bath helps relax your body and mind, and then the drop in body temperature that results from getting out of the shower will make you feel sleepy. You should also try to get enough sunlight during the day. This will help your body regulate your biological clock. Another trick the author mentions is to open your bedroom curtains before you go to bed, so that the sun wakes you up instead of your alarm in the morning. But to remember, sunlight exposure and avoiding stimulants can help improve the quality of your sleep at night.
Thanks for watching. Please follow our social media accounts. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel.